So the LG G8 is the phone I'll be reviewing today. What's up everybody? My name is Zach with Android Digest and I am back at it with another video in 2020. That's right, it is the time where we all write down the date incorrectly. It is a new year with new beginnings, and whether you're watching this in January or July, I really hope you, like all of us, can turn the chapter on those crummy things that have happened in the past, and I hope we can have new beginnings with this new year. And perhaps with a season of new beginnings in your life. Maybe you want to get a new smartphone. Maybe you're looking to purchase a phone that's a great value for a great price, and that brought me to review the LG G8. So the LG G8 originally released in April. It released a little over 6 months ago for a retail price of $820. And the LG G8 has a Snapdragon 855. It has 6 gigs of RAM. It has a pretty darn good OLED display. And it has 128 gigabytes of storage. Now I've got to admit, and I'll say right off the bat, if you find this phone for $820, it is not worth it. This phone has a lot of things where it goes side by side with the great flagships of our time. The LG G8 really competes well with the Samsung Galaxy S10, and it does compete with the Google Pixel 4 and the great phones that have came out. But there are a few areas that it does fall just a little bit short of those phones, so I would not recommend spending $800 on it. But the good news is I saw all over the holidays, I saw great deals on the LG G8. In fact, I saw the LG G8 as low as $500 brand new, and I also saw it on eBay, and I've seen that even recently on eBay between $200 and $300 used. Again, this phone came out in April, so you're looking at a phone that's only been used at most for like 6 months. It's a phone that should still have some factory warranty left from LG if you buy it used. And you're going to get a phone that is great for that price. I mean, to get a phone for $250 to $300 that has a Snapdragon 855, that is a great deal. And at Android Digest, I'm all about finding great deals for the price. So that's why I wanted to review the LG G8. I got it used for a smoking deal. I got it for under $300. And I wanted to review it for you so that I could let you know what's good about it, what compromises LG made, and I want to let you know if it's worth buying in 2020. So with that being said, let's get this video started and let's roll the intro music. So I've got the LG G8 here, and the first thing I really want to do, I want to take a quick look at the device. If you look at the bottom here of the device, you're going to see a very big surprise, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to see a headphone jack. That is right, we have a headphone jack on a flagship phone in 2020. It is a miracle. We have a USB-C port and we have a pretty nice speaker. I would say the speaker did get pretty loud for me. Now on the left side of the device, you are not going to see a power button. Do not be fooled. That is a Google Assistant button, so it is not a power button, even though it looks like it. But you do have the volume up and the volume down right there next to that. On the top, you just have this little microphone here, nothing really to see there. And on the right side of the phone, you're going to see a power button, so a official real power button there. You're also going to see a SIM card slot and an SD card slot, and it's both of those slots in one, so you're going to have a pretty large tray to pull out whenever you use that. Now on the front of the phone, you're going to notice a pretty big notch. So that's one of the negative things about the design of this phone. They did not go with a modern hole punch or a very small notch. They actually have a pretty large notch, which really covers the cameras there. So that is a disappointment. You know, if you are not a fan of notches, you're not going to like that. But I will say it does have small bezels around the notch and small bezels at the bottom of the phone. So that is a pretty big plus that there aren't large bezels. And on the back of the phone, you're going to see a pretty unique camera system. It's not going to be 4 cameras. It is only 2, and you have the flash there. And you will see on the back as well a traditional fingerprint sensor. So they don't have the in-screen fingerprint sensor that you've seen in some newer phones. And I'm honestly glad they didn't go with that because Old Reliable works great. And the fingerprint sensor on this phone works really well. So when you're looking for a good smartphone, one thing you really want to look for is a great display. Because when you're watching Android Digest, okay, you want to see everything so crystal clear. You want everything to look great, right? Maybe you read in the sports news about your favorite sports team. And if you're anything like me, you probably expect your favorite football team to lose. So there's a lot in your life that you could be depressed about. The one thing you don't want to be depressed about is how bad your screen is. Because you want to see things clearly, you want things to be vivid, you want the colors to really pop off the screen. And I've got to say, the LG G8 has a fantastic display. Everything looks crystal clear. So as I was reading the news, as I was going to various websites, as I was going to the Best Buy app and going through all the multitasking that I do day to day, everything looked great. Even when I was gaming, everything looked great. Games can play on very high graphics overall, so you're going to see things looking very good when you're gaming. And everything just looked really good on the screen. Because this phone has a 6.1 inch screen. The resolution is 3120 by 1440. It is a great OLED display. In fact, it has 564 ppi density, if that really means much to you. And it's made with Gorilla Glass 5, so it's at least going to be fairly resistant to scratches and cracks, though you better get a case, okay? Don't break your phone. But I really enjoyed the display on this phone. I've got to say, it is a great display. One thing you do want to note though, it does not have a 90 Hz or 120 Hz refresh rate on the screen. That might not mean a lot to you, okay? Most phones have not had that refresh rate in the past, but some newer phones like the Google Pixel 4 or the One Plus or even like the Razer Phone 2, there have been some phones like that that have came out with a faster refresh rate. Which essentially means if you're scrolling through your phone really fast, the screen can refresh at a little higher rate, so there's a little less jittering on the screen, and it does just look like a smoother experience. Now the bad thing with those screens is they do take a little more battery life to keep those screens running, so you're not going to have to worry about that with the LG G8, but that is a negative if you're comparing it to some of the newer models that are out there. But honestly, I don't think most people are going to notice that. This is a great display, and it's one of the really great things about this phone is that you're going to get a great display, and if you get the phone for a great price, you're going to be very happy with the bargain you got. Not only does this phone have a great display, but it also has great performance. This phone has a Snapdragon 855, it has 6 gigabytes of RAM, and it comes with 128 gigabytes of storage. So this phone has all the storage you need, and it's not just that. I mean, this phone was really flying through everything I really threw at it. That means if you're doing some very intensive stuff, okay, I don't know what you do on your phone, but maybe you do a lot of gaming. Maybe you do gaming with a little YouTube window in the background or something, and you're doing all this stuff at once. This phone is going to hold up just as well as the Galaxy S10 and just as well as some of the more recent flagship phones. Now, LG also made some improvements as well to their phone. They made some improvements to the battery and the camera. So when you compare this phone to the LG G7, you're going to see that this phone has a better battery life. The LG G8 has a 3,500 milliamp battery. Now, if you don't know a lot about that, let me just say a 3,000 milliamp battery has been pretty much the standard battery size that should get most people through the day. Now, of course, your power users will need a little more battery life than that, and that's why I was really happy to see that LG bumped up their battery size. It wasn't a 3,000 milliamp battery or a 3,100 milliamp battery, no. They bumped it up to 3,500. And I was very happy to see that, especially when I saw the Google Pixel 4. They released a battery under 3,000 milliamps again, and I was very disappointed in that. So as a normal casual user, I still struggled to get through the day with the Google Pixel 4. Luckily, you can get the Google Pixel 4 XL if you want that Pixel experience. But I personally love the fact that the LG G8 is a little smaller than you'll see in the Pixel 4 XL, and you get a great battery with it. I would say it's not perfect. Okay, there are a few phones that have 4,000 milliamp batteries that are going to be a little bit better than this phone, but I've got to say I was able to get through almost every day without any issues. I was getting around 5 to 6 hours of screen time on this phone. So I was having a great experience with it. So this phone might not have the best of the best as far as battery life, but it is still a good battery. This phone is an improvement over the LG G7, and I was very happy with that. I was also happy to see that the camera was improved. So when you think of the LG G series, you don't really think of the camera. So a little more details on LG's camera setup. It's actually a dual camera setup. Now there are some models out there that apparently have a triple camera setup, but here in the US there is a dual camera setup on the LG G8. You're going to see a 12 megapixel camera and you're going to see a 16 megapixel camera, which is for the ultra wide angles. The camera quality has not been great in previous LG models, so I was really not expecting it to be the best of the best. And what I found was I was pleasantly surprised by the outcome. I had the Google Pixel 3a side by side and I was taking pictures with the Pixel 3a because the Pixel 3a is really known as one of the best cameras on the market. It's not quite as good as the Google Pixel 4 or the very latest flagships, but it's still pretty close. So I took pictures with the Google Pixel 3a and then I took them with the LG G8. And I was very surprised to see very good performance from the LG G8. So you're not going to get quite the same quality in the LG G8 as like the Google Pixel 4, but as you could see with the comparison photos, I still did get very good photos with the LG G8. I don't take all my photos in perfect lighting or anything like that. I just took these photos outside right around the holidays on a pretty nice day, and I really did get good quality photos. Honestly, if you compare the photos in the LG G8 and the Google Pixel 3a, I think it's sort of a wash. It really depends on who you are as far as what photos you're gonna like more. So I was very impressed with the camera in the LG G8. Again, the camera wasn't as good as like the Galaxy S10, and I didn't quite see as good of shots as I would on like a Google Pixel 4, but from my experience, LG has normally had really bad cameras in their flagship phones. Sure, they weren't the worst cameras in the world, but I normally expected a lot more. And I'm happy to report that the LG G8 does have some pretty significant improvements over the LG G7. So you're not going to buy this phone for the camera, and if you're comparing this phone to the Google Pixel 4, you definitely want to consider the Pixel 4 if you're looking for the best camera out. But this phone is no slouch with its camera, and it's got a pretty good camera, and I was pretty happy with the results. Now I'm not going to get much into the video portion, but it can actually record up to 2160p on the video, and it does have 60 frames per second that it can record there. Now, as far as extra features on this phone, I do need to mention that this phone does have IP68 water/dust resistance, which is pretty cool. I wouldn't dunk it in a tank of water or anything, but if you did drop it in water, it should be pretty safe if you get it out right away. This phone also has wireless charging, though it's very important it does not have fast wireless charging, okay? It just has regular wireless charging, which can be a little slow, but at least they did include it in the model, which I'm happy about. And of course, this phone has NFC, and it has pretty much all the basic things that you would expect from a flagship phone. Now, there's two more things I do want to talk about, and it's really all to do with the software experience. So when I did have this LG G8, one thing I did notice when I first, started it up is it did have the normal LG launcher. If you don't know a lot about the LG launcher, it's really a bad software experience. So when you first start up the phone and you get everything going, one thing you're going to find is when you start downloading your apps, it moves all the apps on the phone directly to your home screen. Outside of moving them left or right, there's not a lot you could do to really customize your home screens. It's just annoying as heck to have 500 apps on my home screen, and I can't really do much outside of move them around. Now, don't worry if you don't like that part of LG's launcher. You can go in the settings, you can change it so you can separate apps and your home screen, so you could have your favorite apps on your home screens, and if you want to get to all the apps, you can swipe up and get to the other apps. But the fact that I had to manually set that up when I first got the phone, that was just an annoying thing to me. The other issue I had is with how LG alphabetizes their apps. I love all my apps being alphabetized. I think that's very important, so I could easily find the apps that I need to find. But if you alphabetize your apps, when you download a new app, that new app does not alphabetize itself. So you have to click that alphabetize button and alphabetize your apps every single time you download a new app. So the bottom line is LG does not have a good launcher on their phone. I personally think if you're going to get an LG G8, you need to download a new launcher like the Nova launcher. The Nova launcher just costs a few bucks if you want to buy the Prime version, and you can get it for life to where you don't have to worry about it. And you can put the Nova launcher on pretty much any Android phone you buy. So the bottom line is LG just does not have a great software experience on its phone. But the good news is you can always download a launcher that remedies many of those things. It doesn't cost much to do. So again, if you're looking for a smartphone that's a great value and you find the LG G8 for a great price, there are some ways to remedy a lot of these minor inconveniences. Now, one thing that LG really got a lot of bad marks on with a lot of reviews was air motion. So with air motion, you can do some things like skip songs with just a swipe of your hand. You can, dismiss your alarms and do basic tasks like that. Really, the only use I could really ever see for it is if you're like doing dishes and your hands are all wet, or maybe you were cooking or something like that and you've got stuff all over your hands and maybe you want to dismiss a quick alarm or skip a song. So I'm really not going to go into great detail about this system. It's not really a great system. I don't think a lot of people are going to use it. A lot of people don't care about it. It really shouldn't be something that should dictate if you should buy this phone or not. Alright, so it is summary time. So what is great about the LG G8? Well, there is the processor, which is a great Snapdragon 855. This phone has 6 gigabytes of RAM. It also has a great display, so things look good. They are crystal clear as you're watching videos, as you're reading, and on top of that, the phone performs like a dream. It might not have the 90 Hz refresh rate, but honestly, it is still a great display that I think most people are going to enjoy. On top of that, this phone has a good camera, maybe not a great or maybe not the best, but it's still a good camera, and it does have good battery life. Again, not the best, but it's still pretty good. This phone also has extra features like water resistance, it has wireless charging, and it has fast charging, and those normal things that you would expect from a flagship phone. So what are the negatives with the LG G8? Well, it's not quite as good, again, of a camera as you'd see in a phone like the Google Pixel 4 or a phone that just released. But one big knock I had against the LG G8 was the software. So if you buy the LG G8, I think you should get a different launcher to fix a lot of those issues. So basically, the cons of this phone, what those cons mean is that this phone is not worth $800 to me. This phone is worth $500 to me brand new. It is worth $400 brand new. It is worth a buy one, get one deal. It is worth those deals you're going to see at a lot of carriers. And it's worth a lot of deals you're going to see as the months go on. So if you can find this phone for between $200 and $300 used, at least at this point in time, it's a pretty good buy because this phone has only been out for 6 months. If you can find this phone for $500 or $450, I'd say this phone is a great buy. Probably still a good buy at even like $550, honestly. But when phones like the Galaxy S10 have been over $800 for a long time, if you can get a phone like the LG G8 for a good price, it will be worth pulling the trigger on. So is the LG G8 worth buying? As always, it depends. My biggest question is, what is the price? Are you able to live with the compromises that the LG G8 offers? Are you willing to live with the software experience being a little bit worse on the LG G8? Are you willing to live with the fact that the camera is good, but it's not the best flagship camera out there? Are you willing to live with the fact that it doesn't have that 90 Hz refresh rate that you see on a phone like the Google Pixel 4 or the Pixel 4 XL? If you're willing to live with those little compromises, or the fact that this phone doesn't have like wireless fast charging, if you're willing to live with those things, then this phone is a great buy, because when you see those little compromises on this phone, that just means that this phone is going to go on sale for some darn good prices. So keep an eye out for this phone. Keep an eye out for those sales. If you really want it used, I will have some links in the description for some used products on Amazon or eBay. Thank you all so much for your support. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please give me a like and please click that subscribe button. It would mean the world to me. I really appreciate it. You can also click that bell as well next to the subscribe button after you subscribe, and that'll just allow you to get those notifications as well about my videos. You could also go to facebook.com/theandroiddigest, and that's a place that you could see all the latest videos uploaded it as well. And I also share a few great deals when I see them. And feel free to leave me a comment, okay? Leave a comment if you have any questions. If you have any questions about which phone to buy, I'm really happy to help you in your purchasing decisions. And finally, AndroidDigest.com is my website as well. Check that out too. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for your support. I hope you all have a fantastic day and a fantastic new year.